You have an LLC or corporation in the state of Alabama. Now, have you heard the rumor that you don't have to file or pay your privilege tax after this law from 2023? Well, the answer to that is both is true and false. Now, let me explain. It's kind of like hearing a new law that you don't have to have a driver's license anymore, only to find out there's a fine print that applies to you. So in this quick video, what I'm going to do is dive into the facts directly from the state of Alabama Department of Revenue's site so that you won't get caught off guard. So let's go. So the answer is, so what ended up happening is for the taxable years beginning in December 31st, 2023, there is a full exemption from the privilege tax on taxes due of any of $100 or less. And so that means that taxpayers who privilege tax is calculated to be $100 or less are not required to file a privilege tax return or pay. Now, if it's more than that, you do. So every corporation, limited liability company, as well as disregarded entity doing business in the state of Alabama or organized, incorporated, or qualified or registered under the laws of Alabama are required to file an Alabama business tax return. And the business tax remains due every registered year until that entity is legally dissolved, withdrawn through the Alabama Department of Alabama Secretary of State, regardless of whether such entity is actively doing business in Alabama. And that includes like C corporations, financial institutions, insurance companies, REITs, businesses, trusts. Those must file Alabama foreign CPT, and limited liability entities taxed as corporations for federal tax purposes also must file Form CPT. S corps, limited liability entities, and disregarded entities must file Alabama Form PPT. Now, so the question is, and I'm gonna provide a link if you stay to the end of the video where you can see this. But like, all right, so now that I know that and I've made a certain amount of money, how what's the rate? How much am I charged? So the rate on is based on the ability to pay, uh, on the ability to pay and determined by the entity's federal taxable income apportioned to Alabama. So the what you've done in Alabama. So the rate ranges from 25 cents to 175 $1.75 for each $1,000 of net worth in Alabama. So, for example, if the income of the taxpayer, which your entity, is less than a dollar, the tax rate should be 25 cents per $1,000. If it's at least a dollar but less than $20,000, the tax rate should be a dollar for per $1,000. If it's at least 200,000 but less than 500,000 or half a million, the tax rate should be $1.25 per $1,000. At least $50,000 but less than 25 of 2.5 million, the tax rate should be a dollar 50 per $1,000. And at least 2.5 million dollars, the tax rate should be uh one $1.75 per $1,000. So the minimum privilege tax is $100 per $10. The Secretary of State report annual report fee for corporations, and the taxable year beginning after December 31st, 2022, taxes who would otherwise be subject to the minimum tax due of $100 shall pay $50 in lieu thereof. So there you go. So and what I'm going to do is let me show you directly where this is. This is listed right directly on the Secretary of State's website right here. Forgive me, the Alabama Department of Revenue, and I was just reading directly off of it, as well as the questions about the privilege tax. And what I'll do is I'll link these two in the chat or in the show notes below, and then you can look for that. So here is the one confusing part. Now, this is why you need to have a good accountant that's doing your financials and everything. Of course, in this video, I'm giving you information to be aware, but you always want to check with a tried and true financial professional to help you with this. But the one of the things that they talk about is your net worth. So it says that the rate is based on the ability to pay and determined by the entity's federal tax income apportioned to Alabama, and the rate ranges from what I talked about before, based on uh, $1,000 of net worth in Alabama, net worth in Alabama. And so, real quickly, if you know what a net worth is, a net worth is your assets and liability, and the difference is your net worth. So, for example, if a business owns $1 million of equipment and cash, but owes $500,000 in loans and bills, your net worth is $500,000, $500,000, right? In Alabama, based on that example, the business tax is based on that final number, your net worth, because it shows your abilities, your business ability to pay. Now, just to give you an example, it's like being charged on going on the toll across a bridge. The bigger your vehicle, the net worth, the higher the toll tax and your ability when you operate in the state of Alabama. Hopefully that answers all the questions and everything. If you have any questions that I can answer, definitely follow for more information and put down and below.